Fish without any bait? Of course you didn't. Every fisherman, there's nothing about a bare hook to attract. On the hook, there must be some kind of bait. An artificial fly, a worm, a minnow, or a frog to attract the fish and cause him to strike. Without this bait, you'd come home at the end of the day disappointed. When you're searching for work, you're fishing for a job. What you catch will be determined largely by the bait you offer. Your personality, training, and experience are your bait. If you have little or no training, you probably will catch little or nothing in the way of a job. The fisherman uses special baits for the game fish. To get the better jobs, you must also use special baits in the form of special qualifications. There are fewer game jobs to be caught. The fisherman has the ambition to catch the game fish. In the same way, every person has the ambition someday to land the big job. There's beginner's luck in fishing, and beginner's luck can't count on luck. Getting a job is your training. In choosing your life work, there are many things to be considered. First of all, you must know yourself, your strong point, your weakness, your likes and dislikes. Let us consider first your own native abilities. Tests have been developed which help you to measure your abilities. Of particular value are those called aptitude tests, which help you measure your abilities in special fields. Mechanical aptitude tests are a sample of this type. These cannot tell you exactly the occupation to choose, but they give you an idea of the type of work you can do best. They also help to guide you away from some fields in which you won't be successful. Each person has the ability to do just so much work, which is called his level of capacity. If he tries to do more than he's really able, he'll be unhappy in his work. He will also be dissatisfied if he knows he could handle a better job than the one he has. There are tests which will help you choose work which fits your level of capacity best. How simple it would be to choose your life work if taking tests were the only thing you had to do in analyzing yourself. But they are only the first step. Another step in analyzing yourself is the examination of your own educational record. Your grades in different subjects, back as far as can be traced. If you've gotten this, your teacher is with you in looking it up. What does your educational record show? Have your grades been about the same all along the line? Or do they look like this, up and down, like the crest and trough of an ocean wave? In what subjects have your grades been up? In what subjects have they been down? Why have they been up or down? Are you especially interested in certain subjects? If you don't like mathematics and your grades are low in this subject, you probably won't be very successful in those fields based on mathematics. Why are you interested in some subjects and not in others? You must answer these questions if you really wish to get acquainted with yourself. When you get a job, you will be judged in comparison with other workers. Just as in school, your work is graded in comparison with that of your classmates. All workers in any group are so judged. One will be considered the best in the group, another the poorest, with the rest arranged in between. This first today may not be first tomorrow unless he keeps on his toes and is alert to the changes which are constantly taking place in every line of work. Therefore, you should know what your rank in your class is in order that you may strive to raise or maintain it. Do you belong in the upper 1/4? Upper 1/2? We hope you're not near the bottom. Another very important question you must ask yourself concerns your character. You will probably agree that honesty and loyalty are two of the strongest points of character. Are you honest with yourself? Are you honest with others? Are you loyal? The next point concerns your interests and accomplishments. In what are you especially interested? What can you do well? Do you like to work with ideas? Or would you rather work with things? List the things you like and that you do well and study them for a possible life work. We all realize that interests change frequently, but if the interest is strong and is based upon some real ability or accomplishment, it will grow. In fact, the more skilled you become, the faster your interest will grow, and so it may help you in picking your life work. Your social assets are very valuable in helping you to know yourself. Do you get along well with the gang, or do you have frequent fallouts? Do you prefer going with the crowd? Or would you rather spend the day alone, doing something you like to do? Do you do your best work when working with other people or when working alone? This is important in determining your future work. For one who likes to be alone would be unhappy in a job which required him to work as a member of a group and to be dependent upon others. The research worker is generally of the type who prefers to work alone. The successful salesman is largely dependent upon his ability to make a pleasing impression upon those with whom he comes in contact. Determination to succeed is an important factor in success. When things go wrong, do you say, "I can't"? If your grades fall below your expectations, do you say, "What's the use"? Every subject in the school has its part in rounding out your education. Do you say, "I don't see any sense in studying something I'll never use"? How do you know you'll never use it? When the road ahead of you is not entirely clear, do you continue to do your best? There is no place in success for a quitter. Are you a quitter? Your financial assets must receive consideration in choosing your life work. Does your choice require long and expensive training? Will you have the money? Will you need considerable money for equipment when you have completed your training and are ready to start work? Will you be able to finance yourself until you have an income from your own work? Many people train themselves for jobs and then are forced to do something else for lack of finances to get started. Every person should have one or more hobbies which he can do well and from which he derives pleasure and satisfaction. A hobby helps you relax after a hard day's work. It may also provide a job to fall back upon in case something happens to your regular means of earning a living. Many people today are working at things which were their hobbies a few years ago. May we ask, what is your hobby? What do you expect to get out of your life work? Many would answer money. Money is important for the things that it will buy, and a certain amount of it is therefore necessary. As important as money, however, as a return for your work, is the satisfaction that comes from doing an interesting job as well as or better than others are doing it. If you set such satisfaction as your goal, expect the financial part to serve itself. Considerable time has been given to the problem of knowing yourself. It is the most difficult problem facing you, but it must be faced. Now, let's turn to some of the questions involved in studying occupations. It is well to get clearly in mind that each one of you can do several things successfully. No individual is limited to one occupation alone. You are at the point where the road has many branches. Any one of the several branches will get you to your destination, but many of them would lead you away from your goal. How can you find the right roads? If you wish to get the most out of your study of the occupations, you must follow some definite plan. First, you should get a broad view of as many occupations as possible. One way you can do this is by reading. There are many books and magazines which give quite clear word pictures of various fields of work, but this is not enough. You should talk to successful people in many lines, asking them questions about their work, the training required, where to get it, and the rewards of their occupations. Your school, again, will be glad to assist by arranging such conferences for you. There are many movies dealing with occupations, and from time to time, you're going to see some of these. They will acquaint you with many types of work in various parts of the country. In making your investigation, do not limit yourself to your own locality, but make your survey as broad as possible. When you have completed a broad survey, choose those occupations that interest you for further study. Investigate the unpleasant side of the work as well as the pleasant, for every type of work has its disagreeable side. No occupation has ever satisfied the worker all the time, but the pleasant things should greatly outweigh the unpleasant if you're seriously considering that particular occupation. This step will cause you to cross some off your list because you feel that the disadvantages outweigh the advantages. Make an intensive study of the remaining interesting occupations. You will now want to ask some questions concerning them. What does the worker do? Is the occupant crowded? What are the starting points and lines of promotion? What are the future prospects for earnings and advancement? What general and special education is required? Where can it be secured? What will this education cost? What will it cost to get established in this occupation? What are the physical requirements? Is it apt to be detrimental to my health? Would I be happy in this work? Many more questions will occur to you as you study the occupations. And remember, you cannot know too much about the work into which you decide to go. While in school, you have all about you many opportunities to improve yourself. Are you making the most of them? The modern school consists of many departments, each contributing its part to make possible a broad educational background that will be valuable in your adult life. The English department offers courses which will help you to speak and write correctly. Courses in literature acquaint you with the world's literary masterpieces, so you can discover for yourself the pleasure to be found in reading them. The social science group provides a chance to study the past, so that you can better understand the conditions of today. Everyone should know more about his government in order that he may be a more useful citizen. Modern developments in transportation and communication have brought cities, states, and nations of the world so close together that we are all subject to the same influences. And no matter what we do for a living, we have many new problems in human relationships which must be solved. A study of the social sciences helps us understand these problems. Mathematics gives you training in arithmetic and shows you how to use it in problems which come up constantly in your everyday life. You must have higher mathematics to succeed in some occupations. In the study of mathematics, you develop your ability for systematic, logical, and accurate reasoning. The sciences, natural and physical, have an influence on the production of everything you eat, wear, or use. For this reason, the sciences play a very direct part in your life, and you should learn to understand and appreciate them. Physical training aims at a healthy body through exercise and planned recreation. If you lose your health, it is difficult and expensive to regain it. The progress of the human race can be traced through its development in music and art. Only a few people can become books in many fields will be found, and the individual is free to read according to his interests. And offers courses in accounting, shorthand, and typing that develop skills through which you may get a job in the commercial world. But even if you never do come to work, you should understand fundamental business principles and be able to apply them in your everyday life. The homemaking department, through its courses in cooking, child care, and home management, trains girls to be good housewives. Courses in sewing are also valuable, whether a girl expects to keep house or enter the business world. The development of good buying judgment is of highest importance, for according to economists, women do at least 75% of the nation's buying. The Industrial Arts Department will help you in 4 main ways. First, to learn about industrial design, materials, processes, and products, so that you will know more about manufacturing and industry and their effect upon your own life. Second, to learn how to buy and use industrial products more intelligently. Third, to help you learn the fundamental tool processes. If you never use this skill in an actual job, it will always come in handy and may be fun for you as a hobby. And fourth, you have a chance to try out your ability in a number of kinds of industrial work which may guide you in the choice of one for making your living. Schools have agriculture departments which cover the latest developments in farm crops, animal husbandry, farm management, and other important matters, which are of value to the owner or operator of a farm. Now comes another very important part of discussion of your life work, What is education? Education starts very early and continues throughout life, from birth to death. Education is the total of all your experiences, both real and imaginary, in school and outside of school. In fact, life itself is education. Many adults go to night school to acquire additional training to improve themselves. For the more experience or education you have in regard to any problem, the greater your chance of solving the problem correctly. We all know that coordination of the mind and body is necessary in most of the games we play. It is just as necessary in most jobs. To do your life work successfully, you must at all times have perfect coordination. The importance of coordination is shown in a study of the type of work done in over 4,000 occupations listed by the Census Bureau. Suppose that these 100 figures stand for all the workers in those 4,000 occupations, most of the workers in the country. Out of every 100, only 13 workers have jobs based entirely on mental skills, or which require them to work with their minds alone. Only 18 out of every 100 have jobs based on manual skills, in which they work mainly with their hands. All these that are left, or 69 out of every 100, do work requiring that the hand and mind be trained together for perfect coordination. You will probably be one of the 69, for perfect coordination is necessary for the dentist, the typist, the industrial worker, the homemaker, in fact, for almost everyone. Just as a building must be built on a carefully planned foundation, so must your life be built on careful plans. Let us see if we can plan the foundation of a successful career for you. As the first block of your foundation, you must have health. Without health, no one can be entirely successful. The second block is character. Develop your character. Your general education is the third block of your foundation. Keep your educational record clear. The fourth block is citizenship. Are you a good citizen? Next comes your special interests and abilities. Are you finding and developing them? Ambition is the spark plug of the human engine, the force that makes things happen. Do you need a new spark plug? You may have special abilities and ambition, but are you willing to work hard to succeed? There is no shortcut to success. You should know yourself better than anyone else knows you. Get acquainted with yourself. The bigger the job, the more training required. Are you planning to get that training? On top of this base, you can place the stone of success, confident that your foundation is well laid. Examine your foundations, and never for one moment believe anyone who may try to tell you that you can't achieve success in this country today. It's true that competition is keen. The standards by which you will be measured are high. Opportunity isn't likely to knock at your door. You'll have to go out and hunt it for yourself. But the opportunity is there if you're prepared to take advantage of it. There are thousands of occupations awaiting the workers who are qualified to fill them. There are jobs in journalism. Monst turn out thousands of newspapers every day. A reporter today has to work hard to get the news. He has to be able to write so people will read his copy. But so did reporters 50 years ago. There are jobs in livestock farming and dairy farming. The farmer works long hours, but so have farmers for centuries past. There are jobs in new lines of work. Radio and television. Millionaires have always been few number. Somewhere in this great land, there is a chance for you to make a living and lead a happy life. Americans have always made their own opportunities. It's up to you to make yours.